sites. Of course, we're located here at 100 West Anderson Street in the Commission Chambers. We have emergency exits 3 that are in this room located to the front, center, and back. We want to identify gathering points for employees and visitors. If there's a need for us to evacuate the building, we will exit to the nearest door and proceed to the stairwell to the left or right of the commission room. And then the meeting place will be in the surface parking lot under the 408 to the south of the building. We have an AED, first aid kit, and fire extinguishers that are inside of the commission chambers. We have the 911 primary and backup designated prior to each meeting, which is myself and LaShawn Statham, and we also have the CPR primary and backup team, which are located in the building, which is LaShawn, myself, and Carlos Wooding. The security team will assist with directing emergency responders into the building and up to the 7th floor. So we hope that this is simply a reminder and not having to be implemented. We'll turn it back over to the Madam President.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Mr. Preston. All right, Ms. Allison Byrne Escribano. Sorry about that. I butchered that completely in 3 different ways. Will you please provide that moment of reflection?
Thank you. Good afternoon, President Crows, Commissioners, Mayor Dyer, Clint. It's hard to believe students already headed back to school. Last Tuesday, a graduation ceremony showcased the valuable contributions of 21 students that participated in the 2023 Emerging Talent Internship Program. OUC is committed to inspiring a new generation of professionals, innovators, and leaders to achieve their career goals. You can see some of their posters in the hallway. I was fortunate to participate in the program as a mentor and attend the graduation ceremony. Today, I stand before you for the moment of reflection to express heartfelt gratitude for the opportunity to be a mentor, to our interns, and to the OUC staff that supported the program. Please take a moment to reflect back on key mentors in your life and feel gratitude for the time they spent mentoring you. OUC's interns provided fresh perspectives, innovative ideas, and passion, which invigorated our staff with energy and enthusiasm. Their commitment to sustainability and inclusivity inspires us to address future challenges and create a more equitable and compassionate workforce. During their presentations, the interns demonstrated problem solving and critical thinking when they shared challenges, successes, and lessons learned, which will help transform traditional practices, ushering OUC into more efficient and data-driven approaches. The imagination and determination of the upcoming generations will be crucial to navigate the complex challenges of the future. Please take a moment to reflect on opportunities you have had to mentor future generations and feel gratitude for the opportunity to help someone grow. Together, we can shape a brighter and better tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Escribano. Thank you very much. I'd like to now invite Derek Hudson to come forward and lead the Pledge of Allegiance. Let me share with you that Derek is a U.S. Naval Academy graduate. If you didn't know that, served in the U.S. Navy for 6 years, achieving the rank of lieutenant. He's worked at OUC for 9 months. His current title is Public Relations Manager. Please stand and join for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, and thank you for your service. All right, the time is now 2:04, and I'll call the August 8th, 2023 Commission meeting to order. I'd like to acknowledge that we do have a full quorum present this afternoon. Our next agenda item is the consideration of the July 18th budget workshop minutes. I'll entertain a motion to waive the reading of the budget workshop minutes and adopt them as published.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a tie for second. Thank you. If there's no discussion, or is there any discussion, guys? If there's not, we'll take a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, the motion passes. Our next item on the agenda is consideration of the July 18th commission meeting minutes. I'll entertain a motion to waive the reading of those minutes. We have a motion.
Second.
And we have a second. Thank you very much. Is there any discussion? If not, let's take a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Very good. No one opposed. Motion passes. All right, let's move right into the service awards this month. Mr. Zambita, will you please come forward and present the first service award?
Thank you. Okay, now we got it. So, President Gross, Commissioners, Mayor Dyer, Clint, I'd like to invite Melvin Lewag and his family to come forward. You guys coming up? You all coming up, or just Melvin? Just Dad? Okay. Come on up.
Oh, nice.
So, Melvin is a senior operations engineer in the System Planning and Reliability Engineering Department. And he is joined by his children, Olivia, Grace, and Melvin II, his wife Katie, and his mom Lee. So Melvin really wanted his family up here because he likes you to know the folks who are supporting him when he's out there doing whatever he needs to do for operations. So Melvin's family. So a side note, and there's a little, yeah, Clint's looking at me. This is Melvin's 30-year award. I think the last service award I gave was Melvin's 25-year award. I don't think because of COVID there's been any in between. And the kids have grown just a little in 5 years. So like any good superhero, Melvin has an origin story, right? So Melvin's a teenager, high school, summer job, doing landscaping work, Florida Hospital, downtown, down Rollins Street. Just so happens to be near something we might be familiar with, the Lake Highland facility, that those of us who've been around a while, that is where everything used to be regarding crews. So Lake Highland facility, trucks roll by Melvin. He's out there sweating on a day like today and going, man, that's pretty cool. Might be something I'm interested in. A couple years later, Melvin's going to college, decides he's going to go electrical engineering, and makes his way through school at UCF, shout out to UCF, and decides he wants to pursue something where he helps people, right? And sometimes we take for granted that what we do helps people. You know, a lot of his friends in school were going out and working for military contractors and such. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but but Melvin wanted to help people. So he decided he was going to apply to OUC and work at OUC. And so Melvin sent his application, got his interview, and what some might say was, I don't know, not the best judgment, OUC management. Melvin did not get hired. Hired some guy named Lemoyne Adams instead. So he was undeterred. He applied to other utilities and landed with the City of St. Cloud Electric Utility. And again, with a good origin story, there's always a plot twist. 4 years later, interlocal agreement, St. Cloud OUC come together. Melvin's now working at OUC. God intervention. There you go. So Melvin has done a lot of great things at OUC, but I want to talk a little bit about some of the other things he's done in his community. So Melvin is on the St. Cloud Main Street Board, has been doing that for 20 years, has been the president a couple times, and for those of you who don't know, that downtown St. Cloud board promotes, you know, the downtown area, shopping, dining. They do some street parties and all that, and they were one of our beneficiaries from the golf tournament this year. Melvin's very appreciative of that. One of the other things, when Melvin and I sat down to talk about his career, I remember him being involved in the SALT project, which is where the folks got together and said, hey, we want to help the homeless, you know, get baths and such. So the service and love together. So they kind of got the trailer, but they didn't really know a lot about how to hook it up or haul it or do. And Melvin jumped in, provided support, hauled it around, and then later on, I think OUC actually added solar panels to that trailer. Yep. So like many of us who've been here a while in operations, Melvin has seen the technology change significantly. Used to be paper maps, Mylar maps, microfiche, pager, not a cell phone, and of course radios, which we still use. But the core mission has stayed the same, right, Melvin? It's make us safe and reliable one, and that's what Melvin does. Melvin's coworkers describe him as knowledgeable, patient, trusted, a great mentor. He can be counted on, and passionate about assisting our customers and fellow employees. And when not at work, Melvin and family enjoy RV camping and traveling, going to Disney. Yeah, going to Disney. And they've attended Lyman's Rodeo, which Melvin says may be some inspiration for future OUCers here. And Melvin also likes to to grill and cook with a smoker, and he loves his wristwatches. That's kind of the thing. Yes. So if you want to look at fancy watches, Melvin probably has a few. So Melvin, thank you so much for your service. We appreciate it. Congratulations.
That's almost like an OUC. We'll have to figure out that later.
Touch everything.
So he is shy after all. All right, very nice. Mr. Adams, will you please come forward now and present the second service award?
I'd like to call Mr. Bruce Miller up for his 25-year service award. Bruce is accompanied with his son, Jace. Bruce also has a daughter, Taylor, and daughter, Brittany. So Bruce has done a lot of jobs in the water, basically all jobs in water construction and maintenance. He's been a distribution tech 2, support specialist, senior distribution technician, water trouble technician, and currently he's a water technician 1. Now, going back before Bruce became an OUC employee, he worked for Orange County Water in their distribution, construction, and maintenance department. And back then, he recalls that OUC was seen as the promised land. Like, you know, you can kind of touch it, but you can't really get to it. And it was like just the place to be, the place that you wanted to end up working. So while he was at Orange County, he competed in something similar to the Lineman Rodeo on the electric side, but it was called the Meter Madness competition. And he was extremely successful in the Meter Madness competition over there at Orange County. As a matter of fact, he went up against one of OUC's best water technicians, beat that person, and won first place. So fast forward a few months later, Orange County and OUC were collaborating in the field on a project. Bruce went out and met Joe Chessa. Those of us who remember Joe, he worked in water construction and was the manager at the time. And he remembered Bruce from that event. And he said, hey, we need you at OUC. So you're the best, so we want the best. So that's how he ended up at working for OUC. So again, Bruce has had multiple positions here at the company. Started on a water construction crew, worked on a maintenance crew, worked in operations for 10 years as a trouble technician, worked on the water hydrant repair crew. And currently he's part of our cross connection and backflow program where he investigates possible cross connections in our service territory, which is very crucial for protecting the integrity of our water grid and our water system. And he also participated in the Water Madness program here, competition here at OUC, won regional, represented us in state, and then went on to national. So he represented OUC as well in that competition. He loves to fish, doesn't matter, salt water, fresh water, doesn't matter, loves to fish. Owns a few jet skis. Him and his son, you guys go jet skiing, right? Love that. One thing he is really proud of is he raises French bulldogs. This started out as a hobby of his, but it's really turned into something pretty big. I mean, he goes to these competitions all over the country, been to Miami and Texas. He's really well known in the industry, very well known. I'm not exaggerating. I mean, he sold dogs all across the world to people. So he's extremely proud of that. Again, started out as a hobby, and now it's just kind of grown into something that he's just very successful at. So I would describe Bruce as being very punctual, takes initiative. He's a team player. His coworkers say he's definitely a team player, loves helping people, very detail oriented. And my favorite part, because I always tell people maintain a positive mental attitude, and that's how they describe Bruce. He's always positive, never negative, always positive. So Bruce, thank you for your 25 years of service here.
All right, I don't think we have any additional employee community recognitions this month. So let's just move forward to affirmative items portion of the agenda. Mr. Bullock, before we consider the affirmative items, is there anyone who wishes to speak from the public today?
We do not.
All right, very good. Thank you for that. All right, do you have any comments or presentations you'd like to make regarding the affirmative items?
Yes, Madam President, I do have a couple items I'd like to highlight here on the agenda today. I'd like to highlight A5 first. I'm going to ask Eric Roche, our Director of Chilled Water, to come up. He's going to give you a little bit of background on chilled water and how we've started over 25 years ago, and remind you of some of the projects we have in place, some of the customers we have. But this specific agenda item is related to the Orange County Convention Center, a customer that has been with us nearly from the beginning, and now we're moving into an extension or a brand new contract for their expansion. So it's an exciting story for OUC. We continue to grow the chilled water business. We're certainly proud of that. And I will say, you know, Eric has been here nearly the entire time on chilled water. And if you had to identify one person that has helped OUC expand this business, it's Eric Roche, 100% hands down. Everybody would agree to that. So we value Eric. I know this is not a service award by any means. I'm glad Eric's here today and giving him the opportunity to share his story on something he's so passionate about with OUC chilled water. So with that, Eric, I'll turn the floor to you.
Thank you so much, Clint. Welcome, Commissioners, President Brito, Mayor Dyer, Clint. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you about item A5, the International Drive District Chilled Water Improvement Project. The project comes to your consideration after 4 years of ongoing negotiations with the Orange County Convention Center for a second 20-year agreement. So my intent today is to share with you some of the milestones that are particular for that district. Also guide you through how the system that is in operations today looks like, and what parties are involved, what customers are connected. I'll also go over why the contract is particularly of strategic importance to us. And of course, I will briefly go over the scope of work. But before going to that, there you go. Just for the benefit of the audience, just to go quickly over how the chilled water system works. So basically, chilled water is produced from central energy plants and is delivered by way of, let me get this. Sorry about that. There. It's delivered by way of underground piping through the district. In our case, we deliver water at 39 to 42 degrees to a wide range of air conditioning applications, which includes commercial buildings like this one, industrial facilities like Lockheed Martin, healthcare, institutional and hospitality. In the chill water system, we deliver the water at 39 degrees. It runs its course through the building to provide comfort cooling to the building, and it returns to us for reprocessing. So by way of gaining heat through the building, we cool the building, the water returns back to us 14, 15, 16 degrees warmer to be reprocessed. So that is a production that occurs 24/7 nonstop, ongoing. In cities where this system is not available, the building owner has no choice but to have their own chilled water plant system. When you segregate all those systems apart, it's very hard to achieve the level of efficiencies that we can by virtue of aggregating all that heat load into a centralized plant. So we can create economies of scale through the design, operation, and maintenance of the system. And we drive efficiency, we drive water conservation, and we're always mindful of the environmental impact, right? So from the customer business standpoint, some of the benefits that we bring is that that customer now doesn't have to invest that capital into water equipment that we do for them. And also think about the space that is required for that equipment now becomes a rentable space. So it's another source of income for the customer. So in general, when we speak of chilled water or OUC cooling, we bring a comprehensive solution to the customer where we take care of the design, construction, operation, and maintenance for 20, 25, for 30 years of that agreement. Next, please. So what do OUC has today for plants or for systems? So today we own and operate 7 districts across the city of Orlando and the Orange County area. Districts are independent systems. They work separate from each other. And some districts can feature multiple plants, some districts feature only one plant. Our story starts with the first plant at the Lockheed Martin Sand Lake facility, which eventually, well, it actually marks the inception of the International Drive District. Because eventually we acquired a couple of plants at the convention center. I will detail that history in a moment. But shortly after that, OUC began implemented the district, or downtown district in 1998 and followed in 2001, 2002 with the Sheraton Vistana Resort, which is located in the International Drive, and the Mall at Millenia. In 2005, we were successful in negotiating an agreement with Tavistock and the University of Central Florida for the College of Medicine. And in 2022, we celebrated 25 years of service history, which is very dear to me after spending 21 years here. But it coincided with the acquisition of the chilled water plant at Goa, serving the Terminal C at the International Airport. And as we speak today, our team is getting ready for a soft start of the chilled water at the Universal Epic Park. So we continue to grow. It's a good story. So a little bit of the milestones, historic milestones of the International Drive Chilled Water District in particular is that, again, in 1997, OUC built the first plant at Lockheed Martin, and in 2000, OUC signed a chilled water service agreement with the Convention Center. Through that agreement, OUC acquired 2 additional plants for the district. But that agreement, notice that the initial term was defined in 2002 to coincide with the opening of the North and South Concourse at the Convention Center. Once OUC acquired those plants, that infrastructure, we were able to plan the district a little bit better, and the thermal energy storage tank was installed and commissioned in 2003. And the combination of those systems allow us to expand the business to include the Hyatt Regency, which then was the Peabody Hotel, Later, we negotiated with a subsidiary of Goldman Sachs to have a 20-year agreement for the Hilton Grand Vacation located by the Universal Boulevard. And in 2022, ahead of what, the contract was to expire in 2022, so OUC and Orange County Convention Center decided to extend that agreement to allow the parties to have time to complete the negotiation of the second agreement and provide time for the improvements that need to be built, which are the reason we're here today. So earlier this year, both parties had a handshake, and therefore we're getting closer to the execution of the agreement. So this is how the district looks today. I'm going to start from the very top. We have the Lockheed Martin plant, again, 1997, in close proximity to the thermal storage tank. As customers, like I mentioned, we have the Hilton, the Hyatt, the Convention Center. Now, when the Orange County Convention Center plants were acquired, OUC installed about 1.8 trench miles of pipe, 36-inch pipe, to integrate the Lockheed Martin plant with the South plant for the purpose of serving the customers and recharging the tank. And I'll go a little bit on the tank in a moment. But also notice, so the combination of those two plants is about 17,200 tons. Just to give you a reference for that energy unit, a typical 2,500 square feet home in Orlando uses a 5-ton unit.
Oh.
So basically, we could potentially cool about 3,400 homes with that system. So in the Convention Center, we have two plants. The South plant, like I mentioned, is integrated to the district, but there is a standalone plant that was built in 1988 for the very original phase of the Convention Center. Unfortunately, that facility, we don't have an economic way, feasible way to integrate that portion of the Convention Center to the rest of the district. So at the center of this improvement project is the replacement of the South plant by building a new plant in close proximity to the thermal energy storage tank and the restoration of the North plant. That's at the center of this improvement project. Now, some of interesting highlights about the thermal energy storage tank. It basically works like a battery. We recharge, the tank is basically 60 feet high, 232 feet in diameter, and it holds about 17 million gallons of water. We cool that to 39 degrees during the off-peak hours to take advantage of the lower electric rates. We use that potential energy in the tank during the day when the electric rates are more expensive. So by doing that, we can also minimize the number of chillers that we need during the on-peak period for cooling. The tank is always full of water. When we speak of discharging the tank, we're not talking about just emptying the tank. The tank is at 39 degrees. We pump the water out. It warms up, and we charge it again. And nature has this thing that is great, physics. 39-degree water and 55-degree water have different densities, so they don't ever mix. So we keep a thermal line in the tank that goes up and down. Next. So why is this second agreement so important? Well, it's strategically important because it would allow us to maintain a presence in the district and maintain the customer base. Growing is great, but keeping the existing customers is even better. And also will allow us to, by building this new plant, explore new business opportunities in the future. As we're presenting this agenda item to you today, our counterparts with the Convention Center will be doing something similar with the agreement next month. And I expect that shortly after receiving approval from their board, we will be executing the agreement. Shortly after that, our real work starts, because immediately after that, we will be releasing an RFP for competitive bidding for the design and construction of this improvement project. Alongside this DRFP, OUC have been negotiating an easement agreement for the site where the new district plant will be located. This agreement is with Universal. That easement agreement brings a joint partnership opportunity to install the potable and wastewater services that eventually will feed the Chillwater plant. And I will show a little bit more detail on the next slide. The estimated completion date of the project is, we have it right now at February fiscal year of 2026. The reason for this is that we need to do this project right. It's in phases. We have all that laid out. The RFP will reflect different phases. Of course, it will include the construction of the new plant, the decommissioning of all equipment. So it's by step. The budget today for this improvement project is estimated at $50,808,500, which includes, as part of the understanding with the convention center, a 20% contingency on that number. The reason for the contingency, of course, is because we learned the lessons through COVID during the construction of Universal. So we are trying to mitigate that exposure with that. And both our counterparts understood. That was very helpful. This map basically illustrates where the new chilled water plant will reside. You can see if I go from the top, this is the thermal storage tank at the Lockheed facility. The blue line depicts the existing 36-inch line that goes from Lockheed Martin to the convention center. The blue dotted line is the extension of the chilled water line to connect the new plant. That's part of the scope of work of this project. And the plant will be located in this triangular shape area. Not being a typical site plan, we went through basically a feasibility assessment to see if we could actually fit a chilled water plant in and we can. That this conceptual design, if you will be the basis of the RFP. This will be attached to the RFP for contractors to bid. The dotted line illustrates the easements that are being negotiated with Universal to bring potable water and wastewater from Universal Boulevard to a connection point. So this is the joint partnership with them. And from this point moving forward, we will complete that, those services. Electric will be coming from OUC substation, so we have an easement as well for that service. Yeah, so those are the services that we're providing. Next. Yes, so we, of course, our recommended action is approval for the improvement project, for the International Drive Chilled Water Improvement Project, including the cost of the potable water and wastewater lines in the amount of $50,808,500, contingent upon the execution of the service agreement with the convention center. And inclusive of that request is the approval of a single source purchase order for the Universal City Development Partners for the installation of the potable water and wastewater services, not to exceed $750,000, again, contingent upon execution of that easement agreement. So with that, I concluded my presentation. I'm open for any additional questions.
Questions?
Concerning the execution of the easement, any issues on that, or is that a simple process?
Well, it's been a long process, but we're getting really close. I expect that easement agreement to be signed within the next few weeks.
We worked through, it's a little bit of a process, but we've been working through that. They have very particular needs for their parks, and we have very particular needs, so we've worked through that.
Other questions? I've got a question. So, I mean, I find the chilled water district's fascinating. It seems like just an incredibly efficient solution. And so I love that aspect of it. How common are chilled water districts? Like, is this just a southern state phenomenon, or is
No.
it pervasive? Like, how common
So
is
not
this?
every city has it, but there are multiple cities in the United States and Europe that have. Also keep in mind that it's not only chilled water. You find cities like New York that have steam.
Yeah, Detroit's got the steam.
Correct.
That's right, you know
So
that.
not every city. I think that the origins of the system goes back to college campuses, and from there it turned into a business outside of the college campuses. You will find systems like the city of Minneapolis, where they actually use water from the river, pass it through heat exchangers, and they don't even have chillers. So there is a wide range of solutions out there.
That's good. Super interesting.
Eric, if you could just clarify, when you talk about the budget of the 50.8, it includes that 20% contingency, but to the extent you go out to bid, then there's a clause in the agreement in which the parties come back together, correct?
Correct. So there is, if we miss the target, right, and the responses come back above and beyond the 50 million, then the contract would allow the parties to go back and look for a second RFP, which will modify the solution. And that's so one of the options that are in the agreement is that if the price doesn't match the expectations, that instead of building a chilled water plant outside in the district, that we will restore the existing south plant. Now, there are some reasons why we're looking at going outside. One of them is that the customers is interested in us moving out because they have experienced some electrical issues on some big shows, and they're trying to offload that system. And one way to do that is by getting us out. So that's one of the primary reasons why we're looking at a solution outside of the convention center.
I'd just like to add that I work at CNL1, and it was very nice.
Yeah.
So I spent a few years there.
I love it. Any other questions, comments? Thank you for that presentation. It was great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. President, I do have one more item I would like to reference, and that's 828. So I'd ask Janice Osine to come up. Also another very exciting project, but I'm going to let Janice give an overview of our partnership with Orlando Science Center, highlight some of the great things we've been doing for quite a while with our fifth graders here through our Orange County and Osceola public school systems, and then also talk about a new exciting exhibit. So with that, Janice, can you give us an overview, please?
Yes. Good afternoon, President Gross, Commissioners, Mayor Dyer, Clint. As Clint introduced, I'll be talking today about Project Awesome. It's a partnership we've had with the Science Center for many years, and building upon it to have an exhibit at the Science Center where we can get visitors' eyes on innovations in energy and water supply. Let's see. It's working. Sweet. OUC has partnered with the Orlando Science Center since 2009 to provide an educational outreach program to Orange and Osceola County students, fifth grade students specifically, in OUC service territory. AWESOME stands for Alternative Water and Energy Supply, Observation, Methods, and Education. It was designed to stimulate STEM skills like critical thinking, communication, and collaboration through projects that address real-world issues that we deal with every day here at OUC. It's also designed to foster a love of science and technology for the next generation of Orlando's workforce, and hopefully will bring some people here to OUC one day. This year, the program will reach more than 10,000 students, and we're very excited about that. There are 2 sessions each year. Both are 2 90-minute sessions where there are workshops for the students to participate in with pre-workshop curriculum and post-workshop curriculum. They enable us to reach a segment of our customers by encouraging the students to share what they've learned with their parents. They teach the students a respect for the environment and how to incorporate conservation into their daily lives and invest in future generations and their interests in STEM. And they do it through these 2 sessions where the first is focused on renewable energy and alternative energy supply, and that happens in the fall semester. And then in the spring semester, we switch over to water, alternative water supply, and water conservation. Here are the numbers for you. You can see back in 2009, we reached about 7,600 fifth grade students in our service territory. Over the years, it has grown. It did take a dip during COVID when we switched to a virtual type program. And just last year, we crossed over 100,000 students that we've reached in aggregate. And now looking ahead to 10,000 this year and 10,000 next year, we will reach over 130,000 students over the life of this project. And we're very proud of that reach and the ripple effect that it has on water conservation and energy supply awareness. We do track how we're doing with the teachers when we go into the classroom. They take a survey. It's a series of questions on a 1 to 10 scale. We consistently get high marks on this. This past year it was a 9.4. It asks about the quality of the materials, the quality of the instructor, is the curriculum meeting their needs? And you can see here some quotes from the teachers. This is the best science class ever. I have to agree with the students, 100% engagement and learning. I always look forward to having this in my classroom. The staff from the Science Center did an outstanding job. It's one of the best presentations I've seen brought to the schools. And we're really pleased with these comments because our response rate on the surveys is 99%. So we're confident that we're getting feedback from the majority of the teachers and that they are supporting the program. In addition to the teacher recognition, we got some external recognition this year from the Downtown Orlando Partnership. We received a Golden Brick Award for Project Awesome. Golden Brick Awards recognize people, projects, and initiatives that propel downtown forward. And specifically, Project Awesome was recognized in the sustainability and resiliency category. So I do want to give a quick recognition to the community engagement team for this award, as well as the Science Center team. Joanne Newman is here representing them for this honor because it's quite the big deal, and we're very proud of it. We do want to make some improvements to the program. We have not updated the curriculum in over 10 years, so we think it's time. We also want to pair it with an innovation exhibit to pair up with the 100-year anniversary and look to the future of energy and water supply and reach more people at the actual Science Center. And we want to bring both of these concepts together through Celebrate Science Nights. I'll tell you a little bit more about each of these. To update the curriculum, we want to better align it to OUC's clean energy goals and water conservation initiatives. So during the 23-24 school year, we will pilot new activities with a select group of schools. And then we will take that curriculum and fully roll it out next year. It will continue to reinforce design-based challenges that are looking at science, technology, engineering, and math concepts, in addition to aligning to Common Core standards, Sunshine State standards, and the 21st century learning skills that are required in schools today. The first session will continue to focus on energy, and the second will focus on water, but to give you more details on those, on the right you can see a drip irrigation system. Students will work as irrigation engineers, and they will try to create a city park irrigation model. They will have to deal with obstacles within the irrigation system, such as cement for a basketball court, or if there's a lake at the park, how they'll irrigate around those things. They'll have to choose plants, and that will be able to live with the watering that they're receiving. And to ensure that, they'll learn about smart irrigation and smart sensors and moisture level monitoring. They'll also work with the pipes and the tubing to ensure they remain clear, and they'll simulate a pump that is pulling water from the lower Florida aquifer, or lower, because we're going to be teaching them about alternate water supply. In the second session, on the left, students will learn about balancing a distributed grid. As we move away from a centralized grid and it becomes more distributed, the balancing effect becomes a little different, and we want to ensure the students are learning about that. They'll follow the flow of electricity from power plants and from people's roofs and other sources through substations and then distributed to our customers, and they'll consider how energy efficiency plays into helping to balance that distribution and ensure power is reliably reaching all of our customers. To then build upon that, we want to have 2 exhibits at the Science Center. We want to work with the Science Center. We've actually started to do that with emerging technology and with Brad Jewell from Water Production to look at how we could educate visitors at the Science Center about what the future of energy supply is and what the future of water supply is. Projects that we're actively working on today, and then bringing the public in to help them understand the need for change and how they can help us as we move toward this future. There'll be 2 exhibits, one focused on energy and one focused on water. Tentatively, we're slated to unveil them in February of 2024 after we construct them. And they will be housed at the Science Center for 2 years. And then after it's there for 2 years, we will move them to an OUC facility that I get agreement with Vince Preston on where it is located. And we will bring people in for site tours to see them, and we hope that it will have at least a 7-year life expectancy after the 2 years at the Science Center. Finally, these 2 concepts will come together. The schools which have Project Awesome, the students and their families and friends will be invited to a night at the Science Center called Celebrate Science Night, where they will get to see the exhibits in person that build upon what they learned in the classroom. We will also have OUC representatives there to share information on energy efficiency, water conservation, solar programs, electric vehicle information, and we're really excited to also have the opportunity to educate on STEM careers and specifically OUC career opportunities with not only the students, but the people that they bring with them. This is the cost breakdown for you. 2 years of the updated curriculum and rolling it out and testing it and then implementing it comes to $824,600. The cost to concept, design, build, and host the exhibit is $250,000 for a total request of just under $1 million. In conclusion, Commissioners, I am requesting your approval on a sole source to the Orlando Science Center. They have been an excellent partner over the years on this project. We consistently get good feedback on the work that they do for us, and we hear from students about it. Myself personally, both of my children have gone through the program at Lake Nona Elementary School, and each time came home to tell me about it. They were very excited to hear it. Do you have any questions for me?
Questions, comments, anything?
No, this is great.
I'll just add here, I think this is really important because the challenges that are coming at us are getting even more complicated to solve. You think about reliability of the grid, you think about the renewables that are being entered, the new loads that are coming like transportation. Like if we don't educate, who is going to try to help educate and just get more information out there about tough choices coming, probably. Yep. So I love it. I think it's important.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Janice. That's all I have, President Gross, unless you or the commissioners have any other questions for me.
Anything else here?
No, I'm good.
I would just ask one more time, is there any member of the public who would like to address the commission, do you think?
Yes, President Gross, there is someone that would like to speak from the public.
Oh, hi there. All right, so, but I would like to remind all members of the public that, you're the only member of the public here, you must state your name and address, and whether you're an OUC customer, please limit your comments to less than 3 minutes. And the commissioners may direct questions to our officers or staff to address now, or if appropriate, by contacting you with response to your question once we've verified the facts. But please, the floor is yours.
Joanne Newman. My address is 409 Courtleigh Creek Drive, Winter Garden, Florida, 34787. OUC is not our provider at the home. Thank you. I'm the president and CEO of the Orlando Science Center, and I truly wanted to just come and say thank you for this amazing partnership. We have been at it for 14 years, as you heard Janice say, reached more than 115,000 students. We were able to continue during the pandemic, which we're proud of. We pivoted to some online interactive workshops, which worked well, but we are so excited to be back in person in the schools, as Janice said, reaching 10,000 students. And I think one of the most important things about this program is the longevity. It gives us this opportunity to impact generations of students with the important messages that you all want us to deliver. And it's been a wonderful collaboration with the teams, the OUC teams and the Science Center team, to deliver these important messages, starting with water and water conservation, and that it's not an unlimited resource, and what are we going to do about this? Starting to get these kids thinking about that is super important. And then moving on to energy and renewables and distribution, and how do you do all this? And help them not perhaps take it so for granted that I turn on the faucet and I get it, and I flip the switch and the electricity comes on. It is super important, and we believe in it so much. And then it's just fun to do it in the way that the Science Center does it. We will never be those people that stand up and lecture in front of a room. It's all about engagement. And I would invite each of you to visit one of these workshops because it's so fun to be in the room. It's exciting. The kids get really energized. We give them a problem or a challenge. They get to design, build, and test out their solutions. They learn so much from that. And as Janice said, it also helps us develop their important skills, those critical thinking, problem solving, creative design. All of those are really important to us, and I think to our youth as they grow, because those are skills that will make a difference in their lives no matter what career they choose. But it also gives us that opportunity to talk about careers here too. So it's been an amazing partnership. Thank you for entrusting us with delivering these important messages. It means a lot to us, and we're grateful for it. So thank you so much.
Thank you for those comments, Joanne. Thank you. It's a great program. I hope I get invited to some of those events, by the way. Just hinting, you guys out there, you know who I am. If there are no other speakers, no other comments here, are there any comments? We're good?
We're good.
Is there a motion then to approve affirmative items A1 through A32?
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. If there's no other discussion, let's take a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No. Motion passes. All right, new business. Mr. Bullock, do you have any comments on new business?
Thanks, President Gross. Yes, I do. I'm going to ask Minnie Renee to come up, our CFO. And while we certainly had our public budget workshop last month, I thought it was important before we do the final approvals on these agenda items, just to allow Mindy to give a very brief overview. There are certainly several items that we're requesting approval from the board on as it relates to 3 agenda items under new business, as well as 1 agenda item under presentation. So she's going to attempt to give a very brief overview. We're not going to repeat the workshop and allow commissioners any final questions or allow anyone from the public any final comments. So that, Minnie, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Commissioners, President Gross, Mayor Dyer, Clint. As Clint said, this is a brief overview of the 4 actions that you have in front of you. So the first action you have under new business number 1 is the approval of the adoption of the 2024 budget, and then the acceptance of the 5-year capital plan, 2024 to 2028. The chart on the right shows the amount of revenues we anticipate to recover to meet our cost recovery principles in 2024, just a little over $1 billion, and that includes fuel. On the capital plan, the 5-year plan is $1.6 billion. It's about $330,000 a year. It's not always even. It sometimes is a little lumpy, but projects like you saw from Eric Roche are included in there as well. The second new business item we have is focused on the pricing. Recognize that we have a little more complexity this year, and what we have laid out, all of the price changes are in two separate items with a supporting item through the Audit Finance Committee. We have an electric price reduction of about 1.5%, which is equivalent to $2 for the average residential customer using 1,000 kilowatts per month. That is a whole mouthful, but that is the average, peer average. On the water side, we have an average of a 4.3% increase, which is less than $1. We're addressing some of the more focused conservation initiatives, aligning with the St. Johns River management benchmarks and measures, as well as addressing some jurisdictional issues and customer charges. So those in total are less than $1 to the average residential customer using 10,000 gallons of water. On the lighting side, we have a proposal. The new business action is a 10% price increase effective January 2024. The other 2 are in October. Based on timing of the system, we have pushed this out to January, and that is about a 10% increase. And we have reached out to those are the governmental customers that we have, non-contractual, the tariff-based lighting customers. The third action we have, which is embedded in the 2024 pricing changes, but will live on beyond 2024 and be incorporated in the operating budget moving forward, are two initiatives around the path to clean energy and the path to alternative water sources. So we separated these out because they have a longevity beyond 2024, and we have, in alignment with the electric integrated resource plan that you approved, that you adopted, in 2020, up to a 1% increase. That is folded into the decrease. It is not on top of that. So that is in place in 2024 and will live on beyond that as we continue to upgrade the electric integrated resource plan. Supporting that, because we really want to make sure those funds are earmarked, the Audit Finance Committee approved in the June meeting a regulatory action to defer those revenues and recognize them for designated projects. And so that supporting regulatory item, which is under presentation 1, is in your packet for approval. On the water side, we have up to a 12% increase for system development charges. We are actively partnering with the development community on this to make sure they understand this. This supports our alternative water sources. Conversely, we do not need the same regulatory action because we have administrative policy that already addresses this. This is a practice that we have when we collect system development charges. We defer these and recognize them for projects that are growth related. So no action for the board on the water side, but 2 price actions, 1 budget action, and then a regulatory action from the June Audit Finance Committee meeting. Questions? I tried to simplify it and do it quickly.
It's good. Nice overview. Questions, comments? Comments? All right. Mr. Bullock, do we have any members of the public who want to speak at this point?
We do not.
All right, very good. All right. This is going to be a little bit tedious, guys. We got to do this one at a time. I apologize for that in advance. We're going to have to take new business item 1, and then 2, and then 3 in sequence. Let me just ask, are there any comments about new business item 1, 2, or 3? Mindy just gave us an overview of all 3 of them. Any questions about that? If there are not, may I please have a motion to adopt the proposed 2024 operating budget, this is the first one, and
So
accept the capital plan? We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion second. We'll take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Everyone says aye. No one opposed. All right, new business number 2. This is about the motion to adopt the proposed electric prices effective October 1st, pending Florida Public Service Commission review, and the proposed water prices effective October 1st, 2023, and the proposed conventional lighting prices effective January 1st, 2024, pending Florida Public Service Commission review. Do we have a motion to approve? Do we have a motion?
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. If there's no discussion, we can take a vote, please. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
No one opposed? All right, the motion passes. And now new business item number 3, the last one that may be presented here. If there aren't any comments or questions, do I have a motion to adopt the proposed recurring annual amount of 1% increase in retail electric revenues to support the EIRP effective October 1st, 2023, pending Florida Public Service Commission review, and the proposed recurring annual amount of up to 12% increase in developer assessed system development charges effective October 1st, 2023. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Thank you very much. If there's no discussion, let's take a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, none. Motion passes. All right, we got through all that. Thank you for bearing with this. All right, presentations. Did you want to make a presentation right now? Or do I just need to ask about a presentation you've already made? Mindy provided an overview of the regulatory action under presentation 1 a moment ago. Is there any additional discussion? I'm going to ask all these questions all the time. If there's no discussion about presentation number 1, over to you, Mr. Bullock. Are there any members of the public that would like to speak?
There are not.
All right, still none. Before we vote on presentation 1, any comments, questions from the commissioners? If not, interrupt me if there are. Is there a motion to approve the deferral of revenues collected from the up to 1% increase in annual retail electric revenues, and subsequent recognition of the deferred revenues to support the EIRP's cost recognition, and to internally designate funds collected from the up to 1% increase in annual retail electric revenues with the subsequent release of funds as EIRP costs are incurred. Do we have a motion? There's a motion and a second. Thank you for that, guys. And if there's no discussion, can we take a vote? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And that means no one's opposed. The motion passes. All right, financial report, I think.
Yes.
Ms. Brene, will you please present the financial report?
I felt like my emotions were as complex as the chilled water.
No, chilled water's easier to understand.
Oh.
I'm so sorry. Sorry.
That's
That's
perfect.
a fact.
That's perfect. Thank you. I needed that. All right.
It was out cold, coming back warm, just keeps going. That's
what I heard.
Well, that's kind of what happens in the bank. It goes out, it comes in. It goes not always in the same flow. There's no equilibrium happening there. Anyhow, again, good afternoon, commissioners, President Gross, Mayor Clint. I'm here to this is early in the month, so we really just have the revenue. We're still closing on the financials for the month of July. You can see here, I always want to remind you that last year we took an action to rebalance, and we lowered the energy portion of our rate for $25 million to help the customers during the peak time that fuel was really high. So you can see why we've had very hot weather, but yet that hasn't translated to higher than expected revenues, but we are right on target. We had wholesale sales in January that really helped us out, about $8.7 million. In total, we're $2.6 million ahead. We are seeing some really favorable revenues on the chilled water side for that new airport district. So very happy about that. And that is really one of the key drivers that is pushing that $3.7 million forward. Also do want to let you know, on June, we lowered the fuel price. We have been sharing those fuel savings with the customers, but we are still making forward movement. And right now our fuel reserves are about $38.4 million. So moving at a slower pace, but yet sharing with our customers, which is very important. Any questions?
We're ahead.
Thank you.
Yes, we are.
Thank you.
And August is hot.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? All right, thank you for that. Mr. Browder, do you have any legal issues to report? All right. Comment period. Mr. Wall, do we have any members of the public that would like to appear at this point?
No general appearances, no, ma'am.
All right. All right, General Manager, comments, please.
Thank you, President Gross. I do have one item I would like to share with the board here today. And while I'm giving a few intro words, I'll ask Letitia to come on up because she's going to give you an overview. But, Allison gave, a moment of reflection. It was really focused on our emerging talent internship program. You heard, Janice talk about our partnership with Orlando Science Center and the connection to the fifth graders. And, I think at OUC, no doubt, when we talk about that community pillar within our strategic plan, we have a responsibility as an organization and as individuals to find ways to give back, to connect, to help the youth, and to help young folks that are going through and working on getting their education. I couldn't be more pleased with the status of this current program. This is not a new program for OUC. I say that because I was a participant. Those that know my story, over 30-some years ago, Mayor Bill Frederick had a mayor's youth program, and OUC was a part of it. But I can tell you it's evolved, it's advanced. The talent that's coming through now, I'm not sure I would have qualified for the program back in the day. But it's an impressive group of individuals. Letitia is going to give you, again, a bit of an overview of what we have done and the opportunity for these folks to come in. And I wanted her just to share some of that with you. So with that, Letitia.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Clint. President Gross, Commissioners, Mayor Clint, it's certainly a pleasure to present an overview of our internship program this year. This was a very collaborative project, and we are proud of the results that we've gained from this. You know, our vision for the OUC's Emerging Talent Internship Program is to provide the opportunity and awareness for interns as they start to build their careers. It is our goal to help each of them develop new skills, meet new people, and discover what it's like to work with a leader in the energy and water utility industry. And if I could have someone advance our slides for us. Thank you. We recognize that a successful internship program builds a rich pipeline of talent for future positions for the Commission. This program was developed by our talent acquisition team and our talent development team, and it ensures that interns are equipped with the essential knowledge, skills, and aptitude for our workplace. We identified and implemented some key elements that are very important for the success of the program. First, there's a focus on OUC culture orientation, which is where the interns are provided a big picture view of our organization. This element consists of a 2-day program where they're fully immersed in our organization. It's called Making the Connection. And the curriculum provides is facilitated by our employees here. It includes tours and sessions to learn about our business and the services that we provide. The next element is our professional development, where our interns are delivered self-paced curriculum, e-learning curriculum that delivers on soft skills and time management, teamwork, communication, and more. The students also attend instructor-led workshops by our talent development team, which cover behavior work style, collaboration, and presentation skills. The third element of the program is about effective mentoring. And so this element is organic and it's focused on career development and growth. And finally, our interns are provided meaningful work. This includes department projects, and it's designed to be very challenging and provide them with the key development and professional development skills that they learn as they go through their various projects. Next slide, please. I would like to share a little bit more about the mentor program, and this is new for our internship program this year. This program allows aspiring leaders, so these may be individuals who are not managing people today that are serving as mentors, and helps them apply critical leadership skills while developing those competencies. In partnership with their direct manager, the mentor took a lead role in mentoring and planning and coaching their assigned intern. 10% of their development is curriculum-based, and it helps them to learn how to form the critical skills to lead a team. 20% is focused on peer coaching and leadership support, and 70% is where the magic happens. It's the on-the-job application. This includes performance planning meetings with their interns, coaching, and providing feedback. We also have a post-program evaluation and review from our mentors so that we can continuously improve their experience through the program as well. Next slide, please. You know, marketing our program is very critical for success. We're competing against other organizations to attract interns. So prior to the start of this year's programs, we focused on developing a web page that would strongly highlight OUC's internship program. And this enhanced web page was strategically created to increase exposure and provide applicants with the information about the program's benefits and the eligibility requirements. It also provided a program calendar so they have a sense of what the 12 weeks would look like, and featured past intern testimonials and videos and articles to give them more of the insight of what a day in the life would be for them. Next slide. The talent acquisition team developed a very robust outreach calendar, attending more than 15 job fairs and internship events at various Florida colleges and universities. And this effort is ongoing. We are staying committed to this partnership year-round so that we can build very strong relationships with the universities. Many of our students come from educational institutions within our state, but we have a couple as far away as Wisconsin and Massachusetts. Our program is nationwide. We do target nationwide, but we do get most of our interns from the state of Florida. We have had over 12,000 applications. We hired 22 interns this summer, and we're intentionally attracting a diverse pool of highly qualified applicants. It's very competitive, and I'm proud to say that this year our intern class was 68% represented by minority groups, and our gender diversity was 59% male and 41% female. Next slide. As you can see here, there were logos from a few of the schools that we attracted our summer intern talent from. Among them are University of Central Florida right here in Orlando, FSU, Rollins, UNF, USF, University of Wisconsin, and Wheaton College. Next slide, please. The internship program concluded with presentations and project showcase, where our interns highlighted what they learned this summer, the value of the work that they did, and the results of that over the past 12 weeks. These students really played a vital role in helping our departments meeting the ever-increasing challenges and needs for our customers and our community. We were all very impressed with their work and also their presentation skills. And for those who did not present last week, their projects are on display here in the corridor. So please take a look at those after commission meeting. Next slide. The day concluded with a ceremony where each of the students was presented with a certificate for successfully completing the program and in recognition of their contributions. We believe there were many benefits from our program this year. One, this internship program is very critical to helping us identify future talent needs for OUC. Employee engagement of our mentors as well as our students, we feel was increased, and it's really important too for retention. It also demonstrates our commitment to ongoing development of our workforce. And assimilation is very important for new hires. We feel that going through the various development opportunities that our interns have really helped them understand OUC and assimilate very well to our organization. And it helped advance the development of our mentors and aspiring leaders. For those interns that are hired, this is very critical to helping to transfer knowledge of those who we are expecting to retire. And obviously, we feel that it enhances OUC's very strong and positive brand. Now I want to play a short video clip so that you can hear directly from the interns about their experience.
This internship really fostered my problem-solving abilities by giving me opportunities to independently research and also critically think about my own projects that were personal to me, but also practical.
During my tenure as a water resources intern, I have been able to see so many different components of the water operation. And it's been great to see the amount of skill and knowledge that goes into maintaining our water supply system.
I did enjoy my experience. I enjoyed being a part of like a large student group on our HR session days and working with the actual department and seeing what happens in day-to-day functions. You learn everything in industry. If you come in and you don't know what clean energy means, you're gonna leave knowing everything about like the utility landscape. So I think that's really cool.
The workshop they provide is very helpful feel like the leadership workshop and the public speaking workshop, they're all things interns here in any department can apply to their career.
As student interns with the Emerging Talent Program, you're going to be assigned a mentor that will work with you one-on-one and kind of go over all of your daily tasks and duties for the mentorship program, so you won't be alone.
I really enjoyed how my mentor was able to work with my limited electrical background and was able to provide me books and resources that I was able to use to familiarize myself in the projects that I was working with.
It's a very valuable experience to have a mentor who is there to support you, who is there to guide you and help you grow professionally, and also someone that you get along with really well.
She taught me things that I can apply to myself in my career as I move on, and I'm just lucky to have a mentor like her.
The first thing is pretty rewarding that you are helping someone to grow and to know, and so they can find their own path.
The most rewarding part about being a mentor is seeing the intern come in with that initial scared perspective and then going from that to being a valued part of the team.
I think the time that they invested in human resources developing this program was amazing. The training that I received as a mentor was wonderful, and having the experience of mentoring our intern just was reinvigorating. It was reminding myself why I love working at OUC.
Everyone here makes you feel so welcome. You don't feel like you're just a student intern. You feel like you're part of a family.
Whatever we do, it's important for us to give back to the community, right? So it feels really great to be here at the Clean the World, this organization, and it feels really good.
When looking for a job, I would like to work at a place where they give back to the community and where the employees know the importance of giving back to the community. And I think that here at OUC, the employees know about the importance of giving back.
I think this should be one of my favorite jobs or workplace that I ever did, and I would miss it, and it was really fun.
I would like to give a big thank you to Val San Marco, who's our manager of talent acquisition. She's here in the audience here. And Mimi Layton, who is our senior talent development consultant, who worked very hard to put this program together and to continue to advance it. Them and their teams really did pull together and really collaborated on a product I think we can be very proud of, and really taking the program to the next level. And we have members of the talent acquisition team who also was part of that leadership. So thank you, ladies. I would also like to extend my sincere gratitude to the supervisors and the mentors that gave up their time to oversee their interns this summer and really provide a very challenging and rewarding experience to them, and providing them very purposeful projects. And, we can't do this without partnerships from our internal department. So marketing and communications really help support this vision and bring it together. So thank you for your support as well. And I'm happy to announce that we will onboard 18 new part-time interns for the fall semester on August 21st, which brings our total number of interns, active interns, to 42. So this is really a big effort and part of our people strategy here to attract and retain the next generation of leaders. So thank you. Any questions?
Sounds good.
Thank you.
You're the expert.
Yeah, no, that sounds good.
It's great. It's really exciting. And yeah, thanks to all the OUC folks, because that I know that's an extra workload for folks that already have daytime jobs. It's great to see you all do it.
No further comments from me.
All right. Then I think we are just ready for commissioner comments, and that's it.
Okay. Well, the internship program is fantastic. I mean, having worked with Inroads and other programs like that, you can see who you can hire in the future. So it's great. It's great what it's done, and continues to grow. I think Clint and I spent a few hours one time years ago with the group as they were graduating. So it's a great program. From Mindy's standpoint, we got an electric price decrease. That's very nice, and the numbers are up. 75 years of service, fantastic. Shield water project, like I said, like I mentioned before, having worked at CNL1, use the product, and it's a great product for us, and I'm glad that it continues to grow and that Goa saw the light and joined the program. Project Awesome, that's, I've learned, I've gotten an appreciation for our water supply challenge by all the different programs, the coloring, all these things we do, and I hope that I get invited to go to the Museum of Science to go to one of those projects they have, because like I said, that is fantastic. So, like I said, it's another great meeting.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Mills?
Let me just sum it up after Commissioner Calvet. Our President Newman said something that I think in one sentence epitomizes you guys as a team and today's presentation. Her comment was, it's all about engagement. And everything that I've heard today, it's all about engagement. Look at the mentoring program. 70% of the mentor activity is all about engagement. It's 10% book learning, 20% on-job learning, 70% work application. Look at what we're doing in chilled water and how we're reaching across and partnering. Look at the finance, giving back to the customer a little bit and doing some other things. Like, all about engagement. And as long as we stay all about engagement, these meetings will be a breeze. So, thank you guys.
That's great. Thank you for that.
I like the two bookends. We always start with the anniversary service awards, and you learn that we have the most expert chilled water person who started with chilled water and 25 years later is still working on chilled water, and we end with the interns and the next generation coming up. So I see the value and always enjoy hearing those stories. So thank you.
And if Mayor Dyer was still here, he would say, and it was really great to see that it all started in chilled water with Lockheed Martin.
I'm sure he would have said that. Very good. Very good. And I'll just say, I've made my comments known this whole meeting. Thank you. That was a great meeting again. I just ditto on what everyone here said. And maybe just emphasize something that I think Ken Zambito said, and that is seeing OUC as the promised land. I just want to sort of, was that not you? Was that, Lemoyne, I'm sorry. Lemoyne, the promised land. So going to keep that one and internalize that for a little while going forward. But thank you all very much for the meeting today. With that, we adjourn the meeting at about 3:24. It's a record. Thank you, guys.
Great meeting. Great meeting.
Lemoyne said that.